Yo, people, what's up? Teacher Eric Loverick here. And the topic of today's class is phrasal verbs. Yeah, most English students think that phrasal verbs are terribly complicated. They see it as this weird vocabulary that you have to memorize by using a list.
Give in, come up with, look after, run into, put up with, turn out, break down.
A very, very long list.
Set up, call off, hold on, get along, carry on, turn up.
And no, you don't. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to start using phrasal verbs naturally. In order to do so, you're going to learn how to think in English, not by memorizing lists. And by the end of this video, I promise that you will stop seeing phrasal verbs as this terribly difficult thing, and you're probably even going to start enjoying them. Let's go. All right, so let's get straight into it. What even is a phrasal verb? The most common definition of a phrasal verb is two words that when combined create a completely different meaning of the two separate words. So, for example, give up. You have give, you have up, you put them together, you get something completely different. Or look after. There's look, there's after, you put them together and you get a babysitter. Okay, even though this is the official definition of a phrasal verb, this is not why phrasal verbs exist. No evil genius ever said, let's do something to make English learning impossible. Phrasal verbs don't exist to make your life harder. Quite the contrary. Phrasal verbs exist because English language loves precision. And phrasal verbs are a great way of expressing that precision. Because you see, you have a verb, an action, and you can add a direction to it. Up, down, in, out, on, off, away. You got the idea. Or you can also add a consequence. Down, open, clean, dead. Here's a real life example. Imagine you cut your arm and then you put a bandage on. And then you go take a shower. And then you leave the shower. And then after some time, you look at your arm and say, what the bandage is not there anymore. The bandage is gone. Question, what happened to the bandage? Wait, before you answer, one important tip. The opposite of on is off. What happened to the bandage? So you can either say that the bandage came off, or that the bandage fell off, or you can say that the water washed the band-aid off, wash off. And that is the foundation of phrasal verbs. So now that you got the concept, let's put it into practice. I'm gonna put some images here and you tell me what's going on. Just like that, phrasal verbs are not scary anymore. It's all about movement and consequence. See, that's why I said it's about how you think. It's not about more vocabulary. It's not about memorizing lists. It's not about more grammar. It's about thinking in English. Actually, if you already speak English, but when you try to speak, your English doesn't flow, or you struggle to find words, or your sentences come out clunky, or you just don't sound natural, all these problems, they tend to disappear when you learn how to think in English. And if you want to solve that problem, I created a course for that. Check out the link here in the description to the course, How to Think in English. Where was I? Oh yeah, phrasal verbs. So I know what you're thinking. I totally get this action consequence thing, but what should I do when the meaning is completely random? Give up or give out or take after or look after. Why does this happen? Languages. Any language will have the rules and the conventions. The rules are easy to explain. The conventions, that's a completely different story. And a lot of phrasal verbs fall into that category. Here's an example of a linguistic convention applied to a phrasal verb. Let's suppose that I am talking on the phone and then conversation's over. So I do this, right? Which is swipe. And consequently, the phone turns off. So I could totally say that I swiped off my phone, right? No, wrong. The correct one is hang up. Why? Well, here's probably what happened. Remember those old school phones? Not these ones. Older still. Older. Bingo, that's the one. Back in the day, after you're finished talking, you're literally hung up the phone. And then technology changed. But the language didn't. And nowadays we still say hang up, even though there's nothing to hang anymore. And I think a lot of phrasal verbs fall into that category. They made sense somewhere in the past, but anybody who could explain why and how is probably dead. So yeah, some phrasal verbs require that you memorize them. But, and this is a big but, like I said in the beginning of the video, this is not what phrasal verbs are about. Memorizing lists, that should be the last thing that you do. Sure, it's nice to know the difference between give out, give up, and give in. But your English will improve way more if you can just build a sentence naturally. Like this one, or this one. Actually, if you can do this, I mean, you're okay, you're good. Okay, with all that said, there's going to be a moment in which you need to memorize phrasal verbs, but instead of using a piece of paper staring at an endless list, try something more interesting, like, for example, gamification. That's why I created an interactive Quizlet with the 25 most used phrasal verbs for my students. It's faster, it's more effective, and it's a whole lot more fun. I'm sharing this with you guys. The link is in the description. All right, that's it for phrasal verbs today. If the information in this video helped you in any way, I ask you to like and share this video. And also, I would like to know what topic you would like me to cover next. So put it here in the comment section below. All right, cool. Cheers.